Good morning. Let's stream. Let's do things. We're fixing things today, and it's all going to be fixed, and the game's going to work perfectly by the end of this stream that I actually don't have a whole lot of time for today, unfortunately. So it's going to be kind of a shorty boy, and it's okay. Not about the size of the stream. Today, and it's all going to be not about the size of the stream. It's about how you use it. Obviously, honestly. Okay, let me see here. I swear we're almost set up. Okay, so now I gotta remember to pin a chat on YouTube Shorts. Unreal Engine 5 game dev. RPG. Colony Sim procedural terrain. Pin that. I'm actually kind of wondering. Let me go into my vidges. And I'm gonna add a description to the video. Yeah, do I still have that copied? Description. No, I don't. Okay, let's copy the description from. There we go. Edit. Description. Replace all. Yes. Okay. We're gonna see what that does. Don't know how much that matters for a live stream. Yeah, let's boot it up, see where we're at. Edit is done. Perfect. Okay. There I am. Okay. So I have a couple things on my mind today as to what we should fix. One of them is targeting, which has been super annoying. To not be able to target things properly. I basically have to just like walk on top of them to target them. Like I'm hitting tab, so the tab targeting it's kind of hard to do actually. And then I should be able to left click to target what I'm looking at. But that is what I need to fix today. One of the things. The other thing is the state tree, which this is not that. Okay, how did the execution source go null? It went null by the time it got down here. Let's just do this. What? Yeah, don't change that file. Whatever that file is. If in tagged data. And let's just go like if... Yeah, if we're not valid... Yeah, don't do it either. Okay. Continue. What is this? Dude, this has happened before. This has happened before. What is happening? I think we can skip this one, right? Yeah, we can skip that one. Okay, sick. Let's run live coding on that real quick. And that can just complete whatever. So we need to fix click targeting. I mean, tab targeting could use a fix, but I'm not too worried about that right now. The click targeting is more impactful, I think, and I need to fix my whole like entity processor, which is it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. And we also need to fix that state tree bug. So I'm thinking about just like, oh, that guy, I literally just witnessed that guy fall. There he goes. Shit. Okay, I guess I need to fix the gravity processor too. He just walked into that into the side of that, and he just fell straight down. I stopped getting work emails already? Jeez. I just woke up. Okay, let's, we toiled quite a bit yesterday on the state tree issue. So why don't we do the chunk processor thing? Why don't we do the chunk processor thing? I don't know, I kind of just want to run around. I would like to kill things. I would like to kill things. And yeah, it happened immediately. The state tree thing happened immediately that time. Yeah, so it's whenever you transition, whenever I transition out of a subtree, it's like trying to clean up all of its instance data. And it never, I mean, I shouldn't say never. It's like very inconsistent of an error, but it, I guess there's some instance structs that don't track their memory, or their memory, like, pointers. Their offsets for the data get wrong. They get wrong. Is what happens. Let's try to find some cool seeds though. Maybe I should just try to like change this up. Maybe I should like pop this into like multiple tasks or something. Let's do this first. Let's just try. We'll try. I'm pretty sure I already tried this. We'll call this root. Put this under root. Root is now a subtree type. Try select children in order. Yep, that's fine. I feel like I tried that already, but we're gonna try it again. And we're on 269. Nice. We're gonna go 270 now. Seed 270, and it's a bad seed. It's pretty much all ocean. Pretty much all ocean. Yeah, I guess there's a zone that direction, but otherwise kind of a bad seed. 270, 271. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Oh, I'm gonna fall straight down in that hole, aren't I? Yeah, so this is kind of a bad, it's cool. It's a cool cave, but kind of a bad spawn location. Yep, we're falling. We're falling. Am I gonna fall through? No, okay. Oh, we got the cave spawns now. We got some guys in the caves. The lighting is just all weird. It is all weird. Is there no nav mesh down here? These guys aren't moving at all. I don't think there is. How do they spawn? This is a pretty sick cave though. See what's going on up here. Do we have any guys spawned up here? I don't see any. Okay, that's just a rock. I'll call him Rocky. Yeah, what's going on with the nav mesh here, guys? Oh, is that below? Oh, that's below the nav mesh bounds, I believe. Bro, that is a fucking massive cave system. Jesus Christ. Okay. So I guess it's below the nav mesh bounds, and then so that technically means that the nav mesh finished generating for those components. Well, it's good that that still works, actually. It's good that that still works. But Jesus, look at that cave. It's a girthy boy right there. Imagine the amount of ore you'd see sticking out of the walls here. Oh, there's a guy right here. Okay, you have no nav mesh, so I'm just gonna fuck you up real quick. Shawnee B. That's a proper abyss. A right proper abyss. Welcome in, buddy. How's it going? Yo, bro, what's up? How you doing? I'm doing good. Welcome in. Welcome in, everyone. We were just admiring this this girthy cave that got generated. It's so girthy that it exceeded my nav mesh bounds. So you can see the nav mesh just stops right there. But despite that, we still spawn guys, so that's good. Usually the guys don't spawn until after the nav mesh is done generating. And I had to write like a little subsystem to even tell when the nav mesh is done generating for a specific component. Ignore the dead body. But so it's nice that that still works, that it still spawns things even though there's no nav mesh here. But yeah, kind of a bad seed for testing because I immediately just fell straight down. Okay, also bad seed, middle of the ocean. Okay, hello, yes, hello everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're doing some game dev today. Did I pin the message? I didn't pin the message. Okay, here we go. Oh no, it's pinned. It's pinned. Okay, another ocean. Actually, that is like... That looks like the... has anyone seen the map of the Ring of Fire? Like, it's like the ring of volcanoes in the... what is it? Is it the Indian Ocean? That's kind of what that reminded me of. It's a nice zone entrance right here. A shame I don't have the texture blending working at the moment. Okay, I almost spawned inside of a tree. Atoll-like, yeah, that's a good way to put it. We are in the Witchwood Forest. We are next to Watchtower Peaks, the Dancer's Stage of Grace, the City of Brass, which is actually... That's a different zone right here, so this is not all one zone. That's the Wormstone Wastes. Blightwood Thicket. I love that name. Blightwood Thicket. That makes me think that there's going to be like a bunch of thorny shrubs that are going to like poison me if I run into them, you know? The Wizard's Tower. Yeah. Crystal Bloom Sanctuary. Okay, what do we got here? Nice little entrance. It's all one biome though, so kind of boring on that regard. We do have a nice this zone over here is nice. Okay. So I guess we're gonna do a couple things today. I need to fix my click targeting, which is broken, and that means I need to fix my entity chunking processor, which is just gonna be a whole thing. Wait, why are none of them working? You have a nav mesh. Try select children in order. Okay, hang on. Pause real quick. Let's take a peek at the visual logger here. It's gonna be so laggy. Just give me a few frames. Okay, stop. And what entity is this guy? What entity is this guy? I guess it's hard to tell. Hang on, I gotta get closer to actually tell. There we go. Okay, what are you? You are... Don't I have it somewhere? I thought I put which entity this is. Entity ID 16. Okay, so we're looking for 16. Oh, there we go. It's right up front. That's nice. Okay. What's your state? Show me your state. Current task, combat. Okay, so he's stuck. The way I set up the combat tree is not working now. Okay, interesting. Ice Master, hello. Welcome in. Welcome back. I thought this would just select... Oh, this is a subtree, that's why. Okay. Okay, let's restart. Save, compile. So that needs to be a state. What else can you be? A group? Or a linked state. Okay. That's fine. We know that. I don't know how I'm ever going to be able to get that assertion to go away. Okay. Oh. These spawns, actually, they don't seem to be deterministic. Oh, I double dotted him. The double dot. Despite that, he's still kind of kicking my ass right now. Okay, we got some XP. Sick. Okay, I need to heal up. Let's get some food here. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. I don't actually know if the food is working for the health regen. Oh, it is. I'm getting the ticks are much fatter. The ticks are much fatter. So I'm going from 81 health to 100, and I think a regular tick is like, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, the guy's actually got some bow attacks now. Ow. Yay. Ding level 2. We're just trying to get this state tree bug to pop back up. I went from 62 to 76. How much is that? 14? That's a thick tick. So I'm going from 91 now to 110, which is 91 to 110. That's 19. Okay, so it is slightly more. It's giving me like 5 more health per tick. Five more health per tick. So honestly, it would be better to just like chop trees and shit in the meantime. Uh-oh. I need to fix that ability. Cool. Eat some more. But yeah, I maybe should turn down the base health regen, I think, because the base health regen is quite high already. I mean, 14 health per tick. You're getting like 10% health back every 5 seconds. That's kind of nuts. Actually kind of nuts. Oh, it's a caster. Okay, so his logic didn't work that well, because he should have finished casting those fireballs. But we haven't crashed yet. We actually haven't crashed yet. Come here, sir. Okay, I'm gonna hit you with the... Oh no, I'm out of mana. Oh no, out of mana. Okay, cleave him. Oh god. I died. Okay, now we crashed. Because he, I guess, technically is transitioning out of combat. Because he's done. Because he killed me. I died. And I believe this is the same thing as usual. 0, 1, 2, 3. Compact state tree parameters, yeah. And one of those is null. So it's keeping one, it's attempting to keep one of these around, which is just like some random ass compact state tree parameters. Okay, so let's rebuild. I really want this state tree thing to be fixed because it is pretty critical for doing further development on AI. I'm just trying to find a way around it, I guess. So, combat, what are you? You are a linked asset, so no tasks on you. No tasks on you. I wonder if do I need like a specific... What kind of transitions can I do here? Maybe I should transition from the root rather than from the substate, which is kind of awkward and definitely not like... Transitioning directly to a subtree state root is not recommended. It may have unexpected results. Subtree states should be used with linked states instead. Subtree states should be used with linked states instead. What is it? What is I've never used a linked state. Link? Linked state cannot have child states. Yeah, that makes sense. But how do I use this linked subtree thing? A state that is linked to another state in the tree. The execution continues on the linked state. Hasty Wasty, what's up? Welcome in. Let's try to figure out the state tree thing. Okay, I think maybe this is probably the one thing that Unreal Engine has docs on. Unreal Engine state tree. Can you explain a little bit more about what a linked state is? State tree overview. Where are like the state types at? Transition, am I right? Yeah, exactly. Evaluator scene, blah 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 blah. I'm here once again. Welcome back. Welcome back. External state tree quick start guide. Link a state tree within another state tree. What does their sub tree look like? How do they set it up? Can you show me a picture of the... Okay, this is the root tree. Okay, yeah, no help there. Selectors overview, yay. I just want can you give me a breakdown on the different state types? That's what I would like. I'm expecting there to be a table somewhere. And what's the selector called? Yeah, it's just called type. State type. State task transition. Executing data flow. Blueprint. None of this has zero documentation on the different types of state that a state can be. Okay, no help there. No help there. On state failed. Go to next selectable state. So what if I return just... Now, I guess it should be transitioning out of this. Well, no, it should fail because it won't have a target anymore. So that'll fail, tree will fail, it'll go to the next state. As it should. Yeah, I don't know what linked is for. I don't know what linked is for. Subtree, having a subtree state. With the transition that just goes to root. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to like change this in some way. Yeah, don't know how to use that. It was a subtree. We'll just make it a state now. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let's get a new seed. 274, 275. Oh, nice. Oh, that's a pretty one. That's a pretty one. Look at that guy. Damn, we got some nice mountains there. Bro, this looks sick. I'm like way high up too. Oh, okay. Bit of a weird spawn, but that's okay. PCG, hello please. Are you gonna spawn or what? Look how high up we are. That's crazy. Yeah, this is dope map generation. Yeah, it's a good seed. We got some nice tall features here. Okay, I must be spawning now. Yeah, there's a guy in front of me. Okay. Let me grab some mushrooms. Or a mushroom, I guess. Okay, he's stuck. He's stuck in this state. Okay. Well, I guess if he can't do combat, then maybe that fixes the issue. Ding, level 2. Okay, why wouldn't that... Oh, it just did... Try enter was... That's the wrong one. Try select children in order. Wow, you did already a lot? Have I? I feel like I haven't done much today. We're just trying to solve a bit of a bug in the state tree that happens when transitioning from the combat subtree. PCG is taking its damn time on this map. Okay, now we're spawning. Okay. Okay. Oh, he's a caster. Okay, I gotta... Oh, big crit. Let's go. Okay, yeah, we hit it anyway. We hit the crash anyway, so... Doesn't even matter. Does not even matter. Although we're only getting 3 instant structs here. Compact state tree parameters. Ugh. Ugh. Let me see. Instance structs. If next frame B is global frame. Do I have what the next active frame B is global frame is true? Okay, so we do hit that. We do hit that. Next frame state tree default instance data. What does that look like? Where is default? There it is. Default instance data. Okay, so it's just like a whole instance storage. Get struct at eval template index, which is state tree evaluator. Okay, yeah, there's just like way too much going on here, but we get some struct out of this list, I suppose. And yeah, that looks like what we're seeing. Global tasks, num common instance data equals instance structs num. State tree global tasks begin. What is that? Global 0. That is 0. Global tasks begin. So nothing goes there. What about evaluators begin? That's also 0. So, and that is the state tree. That is the next frame state tree, which is what we're looking at. Okay, so those don't run. Actually, nothing happens there. So wait, if those don't run, like, how are we still getting stuff happening here? Oh, from this one? Next frame dot at. It's all about next frame. So we're all about the next frame here. Dot active states, which is 0 and 1. State handle, which is just literally just an index. We go state tree states at 1, which is dead. Oh, he died. He died. Yeah, right. That makes sense. So we transition to died from combat. Adding instance data num. State, what is state? The next active state. Next frame dot active states. Or state tree states at that index. State tree states. Oh, there's actually stuff here. Okay. State dot instance data num. Instance data num is 1. So we added 1 in there. If the next state type is subtree, which it's not, it should not be. Otherwise, state parameter if it's valid. Parameter template index. What is parameter template index here? Parameter template index is 2. That looks valid to me. Params. Null pointer. Find temp instance data. Parameter data handle. If we have temp data for the parameters and set up the instance data with just a type so that we can steal the temp data below. Yeah, I feel like that is what is happening. We expect overridden linked assets to hit this code path. That kind of sounds like what I'm doing. Yeah, this is not happening, so we can minus that. That should also not be happening. So I think it's this, or no, or rather this. Can't have temp data. Can we stop trying to save the data? Like, I don't care about these dummy structs. Event data index. Is there an event data index on here? Maybe it's an issue with the dead state, because we're transitioning to that state. Maybe we need to take a peek at that and see what's going on there. Okay, what does dead look like? State? It's just a state where we try select children in order. So, honestly, nothing fancy there. There's no task on it, though. Let's add a dummy task on it. Maybe that helps. Maybe that helps. Okay, let's go again. So it actually has some non-empty task instance data. Okay. Okay, spawn things. No spawns yet. No spawns yet. There we go. Now we're going. There we are. There we are. None of you are doing what you should be, which is your wander mechanics. Okay, I seem to have broken your state tree. Wow, and we already got here. I haven't even killed him yet. Transitioning to state 3. Current active frames. Okay, he is in combat. And we're going to transition to state at index 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. He's going out of combat. Okay, I mean, it still fucking happened. Oh my god, I just want to use link subtrees, please. Okay, what else can I do? I don't even know what else I can do. Maybe I'll just switch over to fixing the targeting. Maybe I'll just do that. Let's put the state back, the state tree back how it's supposed to. Let's do that. All that is state, cool. Yeah, just put that back. Combat, dead, combat one. Yeah. Okay. All right. Targeting. Click to target. So my entities need to be put into... They don't have collision on them, so I have to put them into like this chunk processor that splits them up into a grid. That way I don't have to iterate over all of them to determine if a line goes through them or not. I believe this is only... Excuse me, I believe this is only doing a 2D grid. Are we? Maybe not. Yes, get neighbor chunk locations is not getting the neighbor Z chunks. Okay. And honestly, get neighbor chunk locations is the thing that needs to change. I think I need to do that. I need to do the same thing I did for the terrain. The terrain line trace. Yeah, we have this. We have this. Import that. And so we should probably, include a start and end location for the trace. Entity iterates. Called from that. Okay, so wait, we might not use that. Hang on. Do I use that anywhere? Oh, in the target processor. Okay, so we need to do that in both places. Yeah. Start and end. I guess I could use like a radius and stuff like that. Did you solve the issue with the state transitions? No, I did not. We just kind of moved away from that. We're gonna do the select targeting. So I gotta come up with a better chunk processor for my entities, for my NPCs. Let's not do this one yet, actually. We'll do that one next. Entity query is the more important one. So entity query needs a start and end location, I would think. We call it from entity query. Does this get used at all? Do I use this one at all? I do. Get entities within a radius. Yeah, I almost need a couple different ones of these. Well, I should just calculate the start and end, actually. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do start and end. And I guess that's going to be... Like, if it's a radius, it would need to be like one side. Actually, the radius is going to be kind of different. The logic would be different. So I think I might need two different functions. Yeah. That's the wrong thing. Entity query. Yeah, I may need to pass... I think I need to pass in the chunks that I'm iterating over here. Entity iterate. Entity query. Oh, this is kind of a mess. I kind of hate how I did this. Process entities. Yeah, I think that one's good. This function should die. I should get rid of that. That's only doing 2D. Entity iterate. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna change this to pass in the chunk locations. Or chunk lokes is what it's called. So get rid of that. And that should include the current chunk that we're in as well. Okay. And then we'll need to set up some calling functions to pass in those chunks properly. So let's do that here as well. Chunk location, chunk center. Yeah. Location now is no longer used. You are going to be the same thing as the other one. Okay. Oh, we get here. Impact point. Okay, I'm gonna comment that out for now. I'm gonna comment both of these out for now. I don't know what's using this. Okay, so we have entity query and entity iterate. Iterate function, query function. Do I need both of these? Do I really need both of these? I use the iterate for the target processor, which is like trying to come up with a target for the entities based on their like aggro type. So like if they're hostile to certain targets, they look up all the targets in their aggro radius and try to find one that you know, if they come across the closest one they come across that they have aggro towards, they try to like, you know, I assign that as a target. Now there could be tens of thousands of entities in the world, so I have to split the world up into like chunks, like different cubes, right? And then I assign entities to those different cubes. So it's like it's a spatial data structure essentially, right? That's essentially what a bounding volume hierarchy is. Then that way, when I'm like iterating in a radius around each entity, I don't have to worry about the entities that are, you know, in bumfuck nowhere, you know. So that's why we're doing this. I'm forgetting that we have entity iterate, which is where I guess I'm just iterating over this and doing stuff with it. Then we also have entity query, which returns like hits, which I don't necessarily need, but I'm hoping I can like combine these so I don't have to update both of them. I think the logic for iteration is probably the same. Iterate function, we pass in the targetable for every entity, and then we do that for players as well. Entities and players. Well, we do. It looks like we do some extra here, actually. Well, I reserve. You know what? I think I'm just going to delete the iterate function. It's like the same signature, basically. Ignore that, and you can ignore things. Yeah. I think I can just reuse the query function. Okay, let's do that. We'll just move forward with that. I don't even care. I don't even care. I'll remake whatever functionality is missing. I just want these to be combined so I don't have to worry about it too much. Okay, so you are now using... oh, we're going through the subsystem there. Mahmood, what's up? What's up with you? We're doing some game dev today. Here's the game real quick. We'll do a quick little play here. There's the procedural terrain. It's going to be RPG, Colony Sim Roguelite. Every world's different, you know, very much like Minecraft. Uh-oh, am I missing a terrain chunk? Oh, that chunk got messed up. Yeah, I think when I switch from compute shaders, that issue gets alleviated, actually. I don't think I'm getting the data back from... Look at that chunk, that's crazy. The rest of them look good. Yeah, I don't think the data transitioning from the GPU. Okay, we're just falling. So cool, thank you. Thank you. Wait till the stuff actually spawns. There we go. We're still spawning things. But yeah, it's a sandboxy type game. Wanting it to be, you know, you have different classes to pick from when you create your character. Those classes have different talent trees, different abilities to choose from. As you level up, you'll get like kind of a random set of abilities to pick from. And then as you go through the world, there's going to be all these different quests and stuff for your class, all these colonists that you can recruit and build a colony with, and then maybe you'll be able to unlock some different abilities in the world as you play through. And then those abilities will be, for your next run, they will be available. And so my click to target is a little bad, so that's what we're working on. And then my, here's a little bit of combat. A little bit of combat. We might crash here. Okay, no, we did it. Okay. We're having some issue with the state trees. We're having some issues with the state tree. Must have taken a lot of work. Oh, I've been working on this for about 2.5 years. It's been a lot of fun, though. I enjoy almost every minute of it. Almost every minute of it. Not quite every minute do I enjoy, but close to it. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. All right, we got some underground caves as well. That there's gonna be like ore and stuff to spawn in there. Some monsters down here, some bad guys. Make it interesting. So yeah, that's a bit of the game right there. We're working on something else right now. What's this? This is game dev. This is game dev. Okay, I'll run it one more time. Fine. I do just like watching it run. I think it's quite satisfying. I say as the game freezes. Yeah, this is it. This is game dev. This is what happens. Why are we sleeping here? And also, what's going on with my memory? Unreal Editor using 16 gigs, as is Writer. Okay, there we go. Yeah, procedural terrain. This is the procedural terrain gen running. It'll be an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite. Terrain will be destructible as well. And we have dynamic tree chopping. So wherever my axe connects is, if it does connect, is where it chops the tree. So it changes the static mesh to a dynamic mesh, and then does some geometry operations on it to subtract out some wedges, and then it very shittily assigns textures. I did not make the whole engine myself. This is Unreal Engine. It's pretty dope. Never seen behind the scenes. Yeah, you're seeing the sausage get made. This is it. A lot of coffee and cursing involved, of course. Implemented whole engine. I did do the whole world generation, logic, and seeding. I did all that. I did not make the game engine, though. So yeah, that's the game. But we're working on fixing my targeting. So these are entities. They're not actually like things that are there, if that makes sense. So here's the world. We are in the Eternal Spring, next to Spire of Souls, Jade Coast, Witchwood Forest, Abyssal Depths, Frostbloom Refuge, Secret Temple, Obsidian Bastion, the Material Plane. Yeah. Frostbloom Hollow. And so like because of the each pixel on here is a terrain chunk, and when you run away the terrain will, you know, kind of clean itself up. I still have the data from it, but there's no mesh there. I still have the triangle and vertex data though. So I'm going to use that for the Colony Sim side of things, so that when you're not around your colony and you're on the other side of the world, it's a big world, that your colony can still run, right? You send some guys out to chop trees, they're going to run to the trees, chop it down, and bring the wood back. You know? They're not going to turn off, and I'm not going to fake it. And if there's like some bandits or some wolves in the forest where they're chopping trees, I want them to get attacked. and to make the world feel alive and dangerous and real. And so because of that, I had to write an ECS system to like efficiently operate these entities, right? And these are actually, you saw that guy disappear, he got a little bit too far away. But usually you use actors in Unreal Engine, but those are a bit heavy for my needs. So these are actually static meshes, and usually you can't animate static meshes like this, but you can use vertex animated textures to do so. And I use that in combination with my ECS system to spawn thousands of these all around the world. Like, let's see how many we have spawned right now. I can just do like a quick start and stop real quick. Okay, we have at least 1,000. 1,500 is the biggest number I'm seeing so far. Yeah, we've got like 1,600 entities spawned. So if you had that many actors spawned, it would not be running that fast. And there's probably more out there in the distance. They're just not actually like rendered, you know, they're turned off. And because of that, like, I have to have collision. Like, these guys don't have collision on them. I had to write my own gravity processor that like does a line trace against the terrain vertex data. It's not actually a trace that's built into the engine. I had to build it myself. That happens every time their processors run on the background threads, and it settles them down onto the ground and keeps them on the ground without having any collision. And because they don't have any collision, when I try to target something, like when I try to click on something, I have to figure out what the hell I'm clicking on, just using straight math, right? I don't get to use the built-in Unreal Engine collision anymore, because I like to make my life miserable. Essentially, I'm a bit of a masochist in that regard, I suppose. But my plan for doing that, my solution for doing that, is to split the world up into chunks, and maybe I might just use the same. Maybe I should just use the same chunks I use for terrain, the same grid I use for terrain chunks. But I think right now the chunk size is like 3,000. And I assign all of these entities to what chunk they're in. And so that way, when I need to figure out where an entity is, you know, when I do some AoE spell or something, right? Like if I need to do like the Frost Nova, right? That box, that guy was above the box, so he didn't get hit. Oh god, he's actually throwing fists actually right now. Okay. And perfect. We hit the state tree issue already. Wonderful. Wonderful. That's another issue I need to fix. But yeah, for that, that Frost Nova is an AoE. Like, it hits everyone in that box that it drew. And so I can use the location and area of that box to figure out which chunks it's in. Did I hear you say terrain is going to be destructible? It is. It's already proof of concept. It doesn't actually work well, but it does work, technically. But yeah, so that way I don't need to iterate over every single terrain in the entire world, or every single entity in the entire world. Because I said there were 16... Oh yeah, I'm in the middle of doing stuff. I don't know why I thought that would build. But yeah, there were 1,600 spawned already, just in that small rendered terrain area. So it's very important that I do this, essentially, to assign them into this bounding volume hierarchy. But yeah, entity iterate. I guess we're just gonna get rid of that. We're just gonna delete that. So suppose we can... what else do I want? Nav mesh generator can go away. Hit result can probably go away. Trace utils. Yeah, this is probably all fine. Okay. Okay. Curious, how did you first get interested in this? Oh, just from playing games. I've always wanted to make a game ever since I was a kid. It's how gaming was how I got into programming in general. Okay, but back to the chunk processor, which is where I assign entities to a chunk. Now this is where my entity query function is. which is now taking in chunk locations. So I guess I need some like helper functions to calculate terrain chunks or entity chunks, which let's rename that. Entity chunk locations. And I guess I can probably just put those directly on here. They can be like static functions on here. So static T array of F vector. This is going to be calculate entity chunk locations in, I'll need an in radius, and then I'll need a line trace one as well. But Julius Warlock, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Welcome in. You are going to need to take in a location, a radius. The chunk size, however, is going to be derived from this class, which... Okay, maybe it shouldn't be static. Maybe it shouldn't be. For that reason. But location and radius, I think, is probably all we need now then. Which I need this like my math utils AA. What did I call it? DDA traversal. So this is an algorithm for calculating the chunks in 3D space from a start and end location. Now, can I do this with a radius? There's probably a simpler... Actually, this is probably not necessary. There's probably a simpler one. All right, Copilot, come on. I know it's a long one. Okay, what do you got for me? Chunk locations, chunk location, chunk size. So we get the location that we're starting in. Radius in chunks. Wouldn't that be chunks in radius? Like the number? Yeah, but then we just iterate over x, y, and add them. This squared. So listener. Yeah. This is perfect. This is perfect. Radius divided by chunk size. So if I have a radius of 3,000 and a chunk size of 3,000, that would be 1. And so we do a 1 radius around the current chunk. Yeah. And then we check for the radius. Yeah. This is good. This should be fine. This function can be made const. Yes, it can. Okay, so there's my radius one. Let's do one for a line trace. Calculate. Let's just call it calc. Calculate's kind of a long word. Calc entity chunk. Calc entity chunk locations in box. Now, line. Yeah, we'll just do line. Call it line. Now this is where I'll need my DDA algorithm, I believe. But I'm kind of interested to see what Copilot cooks up here. Is that going to work properly? I don't think that would work properly. Start an end chunk, direction, step size. I mean, fuck it, maybe. Let's see. Let's see if that works. Start an end chunk. It's not even using that. Yeah, there's no way that would work. Okay, let's go with what I know works that I've already used. My math utils. DDA traversal 3D. Okay, so what do you return again? You return a Boolean for probably success or not. Traversed cells. Ooh, it's an int vector. Okay. So I guess I need to just go through that and multiply by grid size. Bool success, I suppose. And then we do what? Start end chunk size, out traverse cells. What else do we need? Grid offset and grid size. I don't think I do a grid offset here, so that can just be 0 grid size. Oh, I did it backwards, so that should be there. Grid size. If I can type. Chunk size. Sorry. It's called chunk size. And then for each, Drish Dan, welcome. Thank you. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Ghoulie Draws, hello. Welcome in. Willkommen. Oh, start and end. So yeah, we don't have a radius here. Okay, so for the traversed cell, I need another T array of chunk locations, and then I think I just do chunk locations dot add effector pass in traversed cell, and then multiply that by chunk size to get the actual coordinates. And then we can return that. I think that works. Okay, so we have two different ways to calculate which chunks to iterate over. You're a hacker? I am. Consider yourself warned. Okay. So now that we have those, I need to update my call sites. So target processor, you need entity query instead. And this is going to take an F my hits results, as well as some other things, which are out hits. So we need a T array of F my hit result. So we need out hits, entity chunk locations, which is, ooh, I don't have access to the chunk processor. Okay, that's kind of annoying. I might move these then. Yeah, I keep having to like write wrapper functions for this processor because you have to get the processor off of the entity subsystem. But I can't just get processor by class. Maybe I should just do that. Let's do that. Just get processor by class. So subsystem, we'll go auto entity. Yeah, that. Perfect. You completely understood the assignment. Get in oh, it's not public, is it? No, it's not. Oh, it is. What the heck? Oh, it's calc. I forgot. Calc in radius, passing in entity location and aggro radius. Perfect. So that goes there. And then what else do you need? Ignored actors, sorted. Yeah. So get rid of those. Perfect. Okay, so I think that should work. And then let's pop this out into a variable because that's kind of nasty looking. T array. Chunk locations. Okay. Cool. Using GitHub Copilot or something? Yeah, I got Copilot in. Got a system design already, or are you just freestyling your way through it? System design is in like the architecture design for the whole game? No, I don't have anything like that. Do I think about these things before I do them and figure out what I need to do? Yeah. So I have like a big doc where I write stuff down in. I don't know if design would be a would be doing a lot of heavy lifting to call it that. But yeah, I write a bunch of shit down. This is a 64-page doc. These ones are shorter. I've been splitting them off into different docs here, so a bit more organized. A little bit more organized. But yeah, I'll say for the most part, we're freestyling. We freestyling, baby. Okay, so maybe this I think this processor should probably just have a pointer here to this guy. Wait, so we don't have to like look it up every frame. And then let's yeah, we'll just assign that there. Oh, we don't have the subsystem there either. Yeah, we'll add that there too then. Okay. Now we're good. Chunk locations, perfect. Yeah, and I think the rest of that just works. It just works. Get entities within radius. Okay, so we're still using that there. Okay, so entity query. Do we use this or do we use this? Only in... Okay, so we're still using it in get entities within box. Yeah, I'm kind of hating the pass through here. So let's just... We have the chunk processor here too, so let's just directly use that. Get entities within box. Yeah, so the entity query, we need to pass it the... yeah, we need out hits. Oh, we already have that. So we just need chunk locations. Chunk processor gets, or rather calc. Hello, welcome in everyone. Welcome in. We're doing some game dev today, some game dev programming. This is for Unreal Engine, so C++. I'm working on a bit of an ECS system, which is just it stands for Entity Component System. It's a data-driven architecture for efficiently like operating tons and tons of like a massive amount of entities in the world. So that's what we're working on right now. I'm trying to divide the world up into chunks, which I have done. I'm just kind of like making it better now, and assigning the entities to these different chunks in the world, so that when I do a location-based query, you know, maybe like an AoE ability or something like that, or if I'm trying to target them with, you know, if I click on them, I need to do a line trace from the camera, you know, to the world. And I need to know what entities are there, so I don't, in like the local chunk, so that I don't have to iterate over the thousands and thousands and thousands that exist in the world. I am indeed developing a game on Unreal Engine. Yes, that is what we're doing here. So if we're gonna get entities within box, maybe I should write a calculator for that. And that is the target trace. Will be that is a box. It's not a line trace. So I'm wondering if we should use the radius. We could probably do something similar here. So let me try to write one here. Array f vector in box. Yes. Oh, we got the orientation and everything on there. Sick. Okay. Location, extent, orientation. Those all sound like things that I will need. Okay, Copilot, go off. Show me how it's done. All right. Let's look what we got here. Box origin location minus extend. Max. Start cell is origin divided by chunk size. In cell box max divided by chunk size. Okay, but what about min? What about the min? I don't think that that's going to start cell. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna get the minimum. So rather than box origin, I think this should maybe be box min. Which I guess that is what it is. It's just calling it origin. Okay. Start cell, in cell for XYZ. Wait, did we do... Oh my god, I'm not doing the Z direction here. Oh, bad. There we go. Bad Copilot. Okay. Z times chunk size. Yeah. I forgot Z. Okay, is point within box. Let's just one line that. I don't know why you wanted to put that in 2 lines. It's just like wholly unnecessary. Okay. And then we have the box. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the performance of this is. Yeah, because like it's like for the really small ones, for the really small things. I guess it. I mean, yeah, we'll just have to see. We'll have to see because this feels a little heavy-handed, but yeah, we'll have to see because I do just have this straight-up entity iterate, which may be better. We'll see. We'll have to play around with this. I'm doing a lot here though, so. Let me see. Okay, let's go back and fix this. Let's get rid of this wherever this is used, and we're just gonna call the processor directly, like so. Actually, get entities within radius. Are you used anywhere anymore? Get entities within radius. Let's go directly chunk processor on that bad boy. Go back to that. Where was that? Oh, and we're using it there, so we just changed that too. So rather than entity subsystem, get processor by class, new chunk, entity chunk processor. Should I still be doing this? Get entities within radius. I mean, I suppose that I should move this to the trace utils. That's what I should do. Should I do that right now? We're changing so much. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I should probably make different files for the trace utils, like one for entity, one for, you know, this and that, and entity tray, get entities within box. Mana Prapana, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Welcome in, everyone. Okay, we're gonna put that there. Let's actually put it on the right class, though. We're on the right class. Processors. So we need to get the chunk processor. Yes. Yes, we do. You don't have a world context object, and you need one. You need one now. World context object, get world. Get subsystem, yeah, entity. Well, okay, so you my entity subsystem. Do I don't already have that. Okay, so auto entity subsystem was that, yeah. Sure, and then this is get processor by class, you my entity subsystem, yeah, okay. No, that's actually the wrong class. There we go. Okay, so chunk processor, we have it now. Cool, cool, cool. Entity query, I need to pass in the chunks here. Get chunks within radius, so we can go chunk, we'll go T-array. Chunk locations, yeah, in radius, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so that one's fixed up. Let's actually create that, which Writer's not going to do for me. Trace utils, you can go up here, and we'll go to get entities within box, and then right below that, we'll plop that down. Okay. Make it a U function, so we can actually call it from blueprints, because there is one location that was doing that we'll need to do here. Or create ref ignored actors, entity chunk category, entity chunk processor. That's the wrong category. Calc entity chunks within radius, so we need to do or no, this is that's backup within box. Okay, so we just wrote that one. Calc within box. Okay. And we do have the line trace one here, so we can fix up that one. T-array chunk locations. There we go. Okay. What's being fixed here? We're adding on some additional functionality to our entity chunk processor. So I'm working on a video game. I have an ECS system, which is an entity component system, and that's just a data-driven architecture that you can use to like efficiently operate like a massive amount of NPCs, like thousands. And they don't have collision on them because collision is expensive. So I'm writing my own kind of trace functions so that I don't have to use the built-in Unreal Engine collision. And that way I can move them around and stuff like that super efficiently, even more efficiently, because I don't have collision. Because when you move something and it has collision, you gotta do all the collision stuff. So to get around that, to kind of have some collision, you know, like when I use an AoE ability or I want to target something, I want to click on something, I need to know where this entity is in the world. I have a processor that runs, and that is taking the entities and assigning them to different chunks in the world. It's just imagine like a 3D grid of cubes. It's essentially what a bounding volume hierarchy is. This is how collision is usually stored. I'm doing it in a much more lightweight form though. And so this kind of bounding volume hierarchy, this grid of cubes that exists in the world, is going to have which entities are within that cube. And so when I'm just in, when I'm just fighting an entity, and I need to do like a blizzard or a frost nova or like a, rain of fire type ability or like a cleave type ability, I don't have to iterate through all of the entities that exist in the world, all thousands of them. I can only iterate through the few that are within the chunk that I'm in. And so that way it's very efficient, very efficient. And so I'm just coming up with all the math for like calculating this 3D grid of boxes that are within a given box, within a radius, within a line trace, because these are the things that I'll need to use. And before I was only doing 2D, just naively when I first made this system, so we're upgrading it to 3D as well in the process. What's the concept of a processor in your ECS? Is it like a system as in ENT, for example? I'm not sure what you mean by ENTT, but a processor is just a thing that iterates over entities. So the processors just have this like And it also defines like which data the entity needs in order for it to iterate over that entity, so that the entity subsystem can it can group all the entities by what data sets they have, which of these data fragments they have, and then give them to each processor that cares about each of those pieces of data. So here's the entry point for the processor function. It's just process entities. And most of my processors launch a background thread and say, hey, I'm processing, don't call me again until I'm done. Int is an ECS library. Yeah, it's probably pretty similar. Probably pretty similar. But yeah, it is a video game. My brain crashed. I'm sorry. Got to reboot now. Do you have to pay for UE5? No, not until you make like 1 million in sales or something like that. Okay, it's the same as the system in the library. Yeah, it's you know, making a base ECS system is actually not too difficult. It's not too difficult, but it's a pretty simple concept. The actual subsystem for it is quite small. I also do LODs. I have the processors have different levels of detail that they can do as well, if they opt into it. So the entity subsystem, there's like I can assign which level of detail. I call them LODs, but it's really like a distance tier. I call it distance tier entities. And so that way I can make sure that the processors are operating on the, if the processors care about it, they can operate on the entities that are closer to the player first, or like every frame. And then the ones that are far away, if it's not as important, you know, it can do those every like 3rd frame or something, you know. I want to build like this. Can you help me? No one is going to teach you how to do this. You're going to have to teach yourself, I'm afraid. But once you learn how to ask the right questions into Google, you will be well on your way. Okay, show me where it hurts, because I'm sure I forgot some places. I don't even think I'm done doing this. Where's the chunk processor? Yeah, we have all our calculate functions, and then we're just using the entity query. We're passing that in. Chunk locations. I mean, yeah, that should all be basically the same. That's fine. This may break a couple things. We updated target processor. We updated target processor. All of our traces should be working? Question mark. We'll see, because I changed so much in this one rebuild. So we'll see. Nothing's broken yet. Nothing's broken yet. Yeah, the box one is the one that I feel like is not gonna work. And we'll have to do some tracing to see how efficient this is, because I already know, like, the target processor, which is trying to calculate aggro radius, right? Whenever I switched to the entity query, it actually ran a lot slower. Okay, we have, what is this? Referenced in my entity subsystem. Oh yeah, we deleted this, but I didn't delete the function out of here. Okay. Can we go now? You have to be at least a god level coder. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You just got to know how to ask the right questions. And ooh, is it enemy entity time? I hope so. Well, we have the enemy entities. We're just kind of trying to make targeting better. But yeah, I know the performance dropped significantly when I changed the target processor over to the chunk processor. And honestly, I should maybe even change this to do the trace, which I know I should probably change this. This trace utils is getting a bit large. I think I want to change this into an entity trace utils, terrain trace utils, and then just a base trace utils that calls the other two. But yeah, I should probably do get entities within radius. I should probably do that from the chunk processor. Yeah, I knew I forgot it. I knew I forgot a spot. Okay. And trace utils, so we can just do get entities within radius now. So we can get rid of that. So this is going to get cleaner. Pass through the world context object. Okay, put that up there, fix that, boom, boom, boom. What else do we need? What did I miss? Out hits, start, radius, ignored actors, sorted, draw debug. Wait, what are you mad at? Oh, it's not static. We need to change it to static. Okay. Oh, now he's big Angie. Oh, yeah. Let me just get a reference to the world here. World, okay, so use that there. And one line that now. And then world. Okay. Watching this at work right now? Hell yeah. I usually have a stream on in the background while I'm working too, which I will have to go to soon. Well, I got a couple hours. I got like an hour and a half till I gotta go to work. Cool. All right, so we can see the game now. So we also have procedural terrain, which is probably my pride and glory. that's my baby so far. Probably one of the more impressive systems that I've built. The ECS system is a little haggard, I'll be honest. It needs work. It needs work. But here's the game. Hopefully we can do things. We'll see if it's just like immediately fails. Okay, yeah, this one has failed because I got rid of this, but now this is yeah, now we're just gonna use this guy. So pass all that through. Instead, ability, location, radius, ignored actors. I guess we're drawing debug on that. And we don't need the subsystem. Boom. Okay. Here's the procedural terrain going burr. There it is. Will end up being destructible. I have proof of concepted the destructibility of it, but it looks like shit and it doesn't work very well. So we'll get to that eventually. But we're kind of just working on stability fixes at the moment. It's kind of what the game is telling me that it wants. It's like, hey, please fix me. I'm like, okay, fine. Okay, so we'll start seeing stuff spawning. We got some trees there. What is happening? That's just an assertion. We can ignore that. So yeah, here's the world. We can look. Let's take a look while everything's spawning. We'll take a look at the world map. So every pixel on here is a terrain chunk. So here's a terrain chunk. There's one chunk. So it's a quite large. Each chunk is 12,000 Unreal Schmeckles or Unreal units. And this map is 128 by 128 terrain chunks. So it's quite large. I think that equals like 1.5 kilometers, if I remember correctly. And so you have these different zones, and every zone has like border mountains around it to kind of create like a defined, contained area, a zone with a name. Like you can see some zone information up here, but it's like Eternal Spring is the zone that we're in. It's supposed to be a desert, which does not have the right name. Eternal Spring is not the name of a desert. So the AI needs to do a better job at naming them, and I'll get to that eventually as well. I'll pass in the AI, the Gemini API. I'll pass in a bunch of tags for like what's spawned in the zone and stuff like that. This one's called Spire of Souls. We got the Jade Coast, Witchwood Forest, Abyssal Depths, Obsidian Bastion, Frostbloom Refuge, Secret Temple. Oh god, this is one. Look at this. Look at this green zone. Okay, so this is all one zone. I didn't realize this before. But this zone that starts up here, comes down around here, comes up through here, down here, through this little tiny choke point, through this little tiny choke point, through this little tiny choke point, all the way down to here. So this zone right here is actually the same as the one up here. So that's pretty sweet. So that's the world. But we're here now. We out here. Let's find us an entity to try and target. So they're not moving. Oh yeah, they are. Okay, I'm clicking and it's not working. Also, I think the perform. Let me just. So when I click, I should be doing the trace. Okay, so I did a couple clicks there. Let's see what the performance on that was. Yes, high system memory. Yes, yes, yes. Was it here? I don't know what that was. Well, given that they're not sticking out too much, I think that's actually okay. By the way, do I have a scope trace on it? So does each chunk have a defined biome, or can there be more than one biome in a chunk? Yeah, each chunk belongs to a zone. That zone is what defines the biome. But I do have like splines built for the zone borders. So what did we say? What zone am I in right now? We are in Eternal Spring. So let's look up Eternal Spring. Sprint. Eternal Sprint. Oh, that sounds awful. Okay, so there's the zone border right there. And so I sample some points from the chunk edges. And then I apply a little bit of offset to them to just kind of like randomly make it not so square and stuff. So you can see this zone that I'm in actually has a really high altitude modifier. And then there's a zone down here. And so you can see that this mountain lines up with the spline here. And so right now it's just on a chunk by chunk basis, the biome is, and you can see an example of that here. So here's where the terrain chunk ends. One biome's there, another one's here. Eventually I'll change this to do it based on that spline, so that a chunk there's a little bit of overlap, right? And it's not so straight. I also just need to blend the textures all together, like they're not blended at all. So a little jarring when you cross from one zone into another. And yeah, the normals don't line up either, so. Eternal Spring sound like something that has a waterfall with a lake? Yeah, definitely. And that'll be the kind of things like I pass to the LLM to get it to generate an actual name. But yeah, let me look if I actually have a camera trace, box trace. I suppose I need get entities within box, the entity query. I do have entity query. Okay, so let's look that up in here. We're gonna find a track that contains entity query. How bad is it? Okay, I can't see it. Go to the first one. I can't even see it. Where is it? Where is it? Oh my god, it's this tiny little thing. Okay. 11 microseconds. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Yeah, I think that's performing enough. Okay. So the ground shader will be used in Spline. Yeah, and then also PCG as well. Like everything that's spawned is used by PCG, or spawned by PCG. So the PCG graphs themselves, there's one per terrain chunk that runs. Here's the forest graph. And so I'll bring the spline in here and use the spline bounds. And then if it's a border chunk, I'll get the border biome and do that stuff as well. Okay, the entity query does seem to be efficient enough, but it's we're still not, the targeting is not working properly. Now, let me see, let me go to the target trace, which is not in that file. Target trace, where the hell is it? Interactable trace, camera trace implementation, box trace multi by channel. Get entities within box. So we do start instead of box center. Orientation, inverse, local sweep vector, box extent. Yeah, okay, so let's get rid of all this. Honestly, this should maybe just be a line trace. I could maybe just align. Would that be simpler if I did a line? I do the box trace because I want a little bit of wiggle room. But then maybe I just like add the, maybe I just add a little bit of, I don't know. Well, let's stick with the box and see if the box works, but let's get rid of that. So we're going to do start end. Oh yeah, I need to get the box. So we'll see if box center actually ends up being correct now. It doesn't seem like it's correct. You can go away. Get entities within box, and then we'll need to do some troubleshooting here. So we should be drawing debug too. So let's turn that on. So go to the select target. You can get rid of, we're not working on the state trees anymore, so close those. Draw debug. Okay. Whoa. Okay, so I don't even think I queried him properly. Okay, so I need to breakpoint there. And then, yeah, I guess we'll just click again. So we hit that breakpoint. Now let's go set up our C++ breakpoints. So in the entity chunk processor, I will need to take a look through here. I'm gonna guess. Let's actually, we can just throw a breakpoint there. Trace utils. Get entities within box. I suppose we can check out the chunk locations too, and potentially I didn't see any of these get drawn, so I don't think we get any returned. I don't think we got any entities returned. So chunk locations is, let's see it. Is it empty? No, it's got stuff in there. It's empty. Wait, what? Okay, so it's empty. Okay. Well, that would be an issue, wouldn't it? That would be an issue. Location, extent, orientation. Yeah. Okay, so let's run that back. Oh yeah, we're gonna hit that all the time now. We gotta like redo that. Okay, try again. Go back. I hate how I have to debug this because I have a line trace running like every frame. Get calc chunk entity. Yeah. Okay, so that's what we want. Let's play. Okay, we hit this. Box origin, which is actually the box min. Are we doing anything with orientation? I guess we just pass it through. Which I think is probably the issue, because we're not calculating the. It would be doing like an axis aligned box with the min-max. I mean, I guess it would be. I guess this would be maybe handling it. Start cell. You know what we should probably, you know what we should do? You know what we should do? Let's do this. How much time does it take? Did it take you to learn programming and developing? So I'm self-taught. I ended up teaching myself. When I was about 16 is when I started trying to learn. And I'll say it probably took me about 2 years before I was actually like writing my own code. For 2 years, I was just kind of like copy pasting stuff, but that's kind of on me. You can learn it a lot faster than that. I can say if you really try hard at it and work hard, and you know you find that you have a passion for it, then you know it's not unreasonable to learn to start feeling comfortable with programming after a year. And and for people going through college, I would imagine that's what they experience. I dropped out of college, so I don't exactly have the normal experience of most people. But what we're gonna do here, yeah, we have world, so get world, or we're gonna draw debug box on all of these that we get. Get world, chunk location, extent, Yeah, that's probably right. And then what's the next param here? Color, F color. We'll go blue. Persistent false, we'll just do it for 5 seconds. So draw all those for 5 seconds. Does programming pay a lot? Kind of hard to get a job in programming now. Or make this one green. And let's actually do it else here. So green or blue. Green if it returns, blue if it doesn't. Or I guess red if it doesn't. That makes more sense. But yeah, you can make good money being a programmer, yeah. Depending on your level of experience. Okay, so I'm actually doing line traces every frame. There's that. Okay, interesting. I think they will integrate AI models in game engines in the next 1 to 2 years. I doubt it, actually. I don't think that'll come out till the next generation of game engines. The Unreal Engine 6 maybe might have something, but maybe that will make things easier. I think it's going to make easier to make progress, harder to learn, because you'll start relying on it too much, I think. But we'll see. Time will tell. Okay, so for the just... So I do just a simple line trace. This is not Kotlin. This is C++. This is Unreal Engine C++. I know it doesn't look like regular C++. Unreal Engine has their own reflection system built on top of C. CPP. Yeah, is point within box. So we're only let me look at the chunk processor, because do I center chunk center? Does grid snap? I don't know if grid snap centers. I should probably... Let's do this. This is gonna be... Okay, this is probably gonna be really laggy. I guess I need to do a for each on... Well, no, let me think about this a little harder. So I'm trying to figure out if my chunks are centered or not, or if they're... I do call it center. I do call it center. Entity chunk locations. Chunk location. I mean, it's all down to these functions, right? These functions interpret the chunk. So maybe I should apply... Does grid snap? Let me look at this. Does grid snap center? Does grid snap center? Chunk location. Plus extend chunks, neighbor chunk locations. If the distance squared of neighbor chunk location to the current chunk location is less than or equal to radius How do I go from university programming courses, game deving? You download a game engine and you start Googling things. Yeah, I think these need to be a little bit better. I don't know. I am just drawing the box with the extent. Yeah, so I am kind of treating these as centered. But when I actually... Entity location. I just take the location and grid snap it. Okay. Okay, let me go back to the world here, which is paused. We are breakpointed. And so the box was a little off. The box is a little off, which is making me think. Start cell, end cell. Start cell. What am I doing here? What am I fucking doing? Look at that again. Okay, so if my chunks are 3,000 in size. And you know what I should do? I should just make the chunk. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. Well, let's take a look at this first. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look at this. The location I'm at. 7,000. Negative 2,000. 20,000. Chunk location. 0 to 0. 3,000. 6,000, and then we go to 1,800. Start cell 206. MLG Pinky, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Could it be the debug draw does not center? It does. The debug draw does. But yeah, it's definitely worth considering that I'm not drawing them the way that I'm treating them, which very well could be the case. Start cell is 206. End cell is 206. And so, yeah, the extent is only of the box that I'm doing here. This is just my short line trace. So it's only 500. So it makes sense that we only have like one box that we're going to go through. And so start cell dot x 2 to, it's like 2 to 2, right? So yeah, there's only one box here. Chunk location 6,000, 1,800. But I'm going to, what IDE am I using? This is Rider, JetBrains. What I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to delete this get neighbor thing because we shouldn't be using that anymore. And then I'm going to change this to 12,000 because that's gonna that should line up with my terrain chunks are 12,000, so that should line up. And then that way I can tell if I'm debug drawing them correctly or not, because it should then, if grid snap centers, because like you can make a grid where the grid snap point is the center point, right? Or you can make it to where that's like the corner, right? And I prefer the centered. Okay. So we're going to get rid of that for now. Let's start the world up. So there's my terrain chunk bounds that we're seeing. That's what's popping up here. But when I get into the world, it should start drawing the... or I guess at least when I click, it'll draw what bounds it thinks it is. Okay, so already, that does seem to be... The debug drawing is centered, but it's showing up in a chunk that I'm not in, which is what's making me think that grid snap does not center. So this will be for the line trace, interactable trace, yeah. Yes. 0, 0, 12. It thinks I'm in the one chunk, which I am. 0, 0, 12,000. What are you making? We're working on a video game, an Unreal Engine. What's this theme called? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, you mean in Writer? I think it's just Darkula. So yeah, I think I am in 0, 0, 1200. Extent, it should be chunk size divided by 2. How does terrain chunk do it? Draw debug box. Bounds, box extent. Bounds, min max. Time scale. Yeah. Terrain generation? Yeah, so we got procedural terrain. I feel like this should be correct. Wait, why isn't that if the chunk location, this is terrain chunk. Oh, that's terrain chunk 002. Ah, I thought that was 001. Okay, so we're off by 1. So yeah, we're not treating the grid properly here. No, thank you. Go away, please. Oh, Jesus. Go back up. Back it up. Yeah, we're higher than I thought. Yeah. Okay, so we should be returning 002 there. Chunk processor. Yeah, go there. Am I paused? Yeah, okay, so go there. And location. We are at 20,000. And that should be 002. Should that be? 002. What is the world location here? It's 24,000. Yeah, so 20. It's basically 18,000 is the upper bound there. So yeah, we're not treating it as centered. We're not... Why? Why though? Minus extent plus extent. Yeah, I guess I need the offset here. And what was the extent? I guess I need the extent of the chunk size. I need to subtract by half chunk size here, I think. This is Rider. Color theme is Darkula. By JetBrains. What font is that? I'm not sure what font it is. It's just whatever Darkula is, I believe. So do I need to subtract? Do I need to subtract chunk size divided by 2 here? To center it? Boy, my kingdom for a live coding that works faster. Oh my goodness. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm still not getting the right start and end cell. Right. Yeah, that's not right. I don't like this math. So should I grid snap this location? Grid snap the location. Get rid of the minus. And then we're gonna minus the extent plus the extent. And then like clamp it again. Or I guess we should grid snap the whole thing, right? Undo that. So this dot grid snap chunk size. And then divide by chunk size to get the integers. Chunk location. And then maybe the chunk location is incorrect. Did we go back here? There we go. Perfect. Yeah, that's the chunk I need. Okay, have we spawned anything? Has anything spawned? Yeah, things have spawned. So now we should see this big red box move when I cross the threshold of a terrain chunk, which is quite far away. What is this? Wait, how the hell did this happen? Can I skip? No. Okay, I guess I should probably pin this then. Oh, you can't pin them. Get weak object pointer. What you doing? We're doing some game dev. We're working on an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural terrain. I just call the give. So I already checked if it wasn't valid, but I guess it became invalid after one line of code. Is a. How do we get to is a? What? Struct is child of. I don't understand what happened here. Because I'm casting it? I see that the instance, or the interface instance is null. I see that. T-weak interface pointer, and I do a dot get. Maybe I shouldn't be doing a get weak object pointer. Maybe that's better. I don't know. We'll have to rebuild though, because that was a crash. I would have figured this guard would have handled all that, but I guess not. Okay. Well, this boots up. And honestly, a different... Well, this world's actually pretty good, because it does have a lot of Z chunks. Positive Z chunks that we can test. A flatter world would be nice just for traversal, but we'll keep rocking with this one just because it looks cool. Okay, so here goes the algo. There we go. There we go. And I should be spawning shortly. There I go. There I go. So once I cross the threshold of this terrain chunk, it should change, or when I get close to it, because it's actually the line trace. Okay. Okay. Dude, what are these physics? Okay. That's a new one. Okay, now I'm just stuck. Okay, so the interesting. The player controller lost control of the player. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. Okay. Okay. Wait, am I drawing this? I'm drawing that for like 5 seconds, right? Yeah, okay. I'm running at every trace, okay, every frame. So yeah, I should, there we go. So I'm like close enough to it that it's returning the next one over. Because the line trace I'm doing is actually going into that chunk. Now I need to wait a little bit to see, are we still doing this chunk? I mean, I guess I can just check that, right? Start cell and end cell should be about 1 off in the X direction? Or is it the Y direction? 002. Yeah, 102. So yeah, it's 1 off. So we're going across 2 chunks, and that's exactly what I need. That is perfect, actually. That's exactly what it should be. Okay, let's get a little lower here. I would like to just get to the edge here. Can I just, yeah, just right... Oh, no. Okay, perfect. Yeah, right here. Okay, so now what am I returning? We're starting in cell, so they should be different in the Z axis now, too. No, the Z is the same. 002, 102, so the Z is not different. I thought it was for a second. Well, we're just gonna fall down, I guess. Dude, wait, what is happening here? Oh. Strange. Okay. Okay, so now I'm just purely in this terrain chunk. Okay. So let's get, I wanted to check the Z direction, but I guess that's gonna be a little... It's gonna be a little difficult due to the terrain. Can I get up here? Is there a way for me to get up here? Yeah, maybe not. Okay, let's go over there. We're gonna head that direction. Okay, that's not, honestly. Well, that did return quite a few. That did return the right chunks, I think, for that one. Hang on. Let's, I'm gonna look straight up and pause. Okay. So for this box trace that I did, it did return this one. Did it return some of these other ones too? I think it returned the one below it as well. Yeah, because I think it's acting like it's twice that. Yeah, I think it's acting like it's twice that actually for the targetable trace. Get entities within box, which is used here. Okay, so yeah, this box is probably not being used correctly. So we do start and end. Local sweep vector box extent. Yeah, I should draw this debug. And I guess I do if I actually get any entities returned. Do I draw it permanently? No, I draw it for 5 seconds. Okay, yeah, I think it did do that. The red one gets drawn permanently. Let's get over here. Okay, so now I'm worried that maybe the entities just aren't... the entities just aren't in the right chunks. Okay, so I'm going to... We're here now. So yeah, I'm just gonna click and pause. So the green is... making good progress? We'll see. We'll see. So I did not return that extra chunk, did I? So yeah, this is actually a little off. Because I'm not doing the orientation properly, I suppose. The orientation is not proper. Okay, so let's do an actual test now. So we got that. Get entities within box. So do I get here? Actually, those boxes were red. They're not supposed to be red. That's the issue. I looked just straight past that. If chunk location is within box, which is location extent. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That is not gonna work. How did you learn to code in Unreal? Just lots of Googling and lots of trial and error. Just finished my build system, snapping logic for a bit complicated with rotation. Dude, I know. Hey, I was there a couple weeks ago, actually. Yeah. I hate quaternions. I hate rotational math a lot. And yeah, I was working with snapping and snocketing as well. It's a happy day when you get through that, for sure. Yeah, this is not going to work. Because it's requiring the chunk location to be within the box, which isn't right. I need to do like is box intersecting box. Honestly, let's just do it unequivocally, right? Let's just always do it. Have I ever used Unity? Yeah, a little bit. I played around with it a little bit, basically. So yeah, none of those chunks were ever returning because of that. Okay, let's build. We're building. Yeah, this isn't using the rotation and the orientation at all. So yeah, that's an issue. I think there's going to be, the math is going to be a bit more complicated here. But at least we can check the entity query system a little bit. Okay, so yeah, we hit that. Let's set up our breakpoints now. We want that. Basically, we just want that, I think. Chunk processor, sure. Okay, so we've gotten here, that is from the targetable trace. Our chunk locations, we have 2, of which we have 2. Let me look at our chunks here. Yeah, so for chunk location 0, 1, 1 and 1, 1, 1, what do we have? 0, 1, 1. That's -1. And 1, 1, 1. I should maybe store these differently. There's 0, 1, 1. We have one entity in 0, 1, 1. And then where is 1, 1, 1? I suppose we can, let's look at the entity query for that information. I guess we'll see if we get here. When we get here. Hard Planet? Herd Planet. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Which one do I like better? I like Unreal Engine better. That's why I'm using it. Okay, so we do get here. Entity 60. And Entity 61. And Entity 62. 63. 64. Okay. We have several. We have several. So now, where are we? I need to look at the actual entity query now, which is there. Targetable trace. Okay. Target location, half height. Raw debug. So let's go here. Is within box is false. Why? I think Unreal Engine is a lot more powerful. And I think it is closer to the cutting edge of game development than Unity is. And it's got a better pricing model. That was another big decision point. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to like see is within box, is within box, is within box. Okay, so let's just pause here. So I definitely should have gotten a return from that guy. Is within box, and we should be passing the right one in here, right? Yeah, it should be the green one. The green one is what we're drawing. Yeah, so we draw that. So yeah, that should have returned. We should have gotten a hit for that guy. Oh, apparently there's some guys falling right now. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I guess we used those 2 boxes, which were the correct 2 boxes. Were the correct 2 grids. Is this Unreal? Yes. Yes, it is. Interesting. Okay, so false. Out hit. Yeah, nothing returned. Oh, the debug drawings. They're getting so laggy. Yeah, so that logic is not working. This logic is not working, and I hate this fucking Z lenience logic so much. Yeah, and I guess I need this to be more of like a capsule, right? Get entities within box. Okay. Is within box. Target location, which was either blue or yellow. So if blue is within the box, we should get a return for it. Well, yellow is where it ends up at, actually. Which, let me look at it here again. God, the debug drawing. So much. Okay, I need you to hold still for a second. Just stop walking. Okay, did yellow show up anywhere for you? We have a bunch of yellows underground, which is concerning. And probably not right. And there was one directly below here. So yeah, that doesn't seem like what I should be doing there. That doesn't seem right. And so what are we doing? This add Z leniency function is going to be the absolute death of me. Half height. If the Z value of in vector is outside plus or minus Z leniency, which is half height, which is with, it will be set to the min or max of Z leniency. I wrote this function and it has tripped me up so many times. From diff Z location dot Z. That doesn't feel right. If the Z value of in vector, which is the target's location, is outside half height from the origin of the box, I don't think the origin of the box is what I should be passing in here, but I also don't know what else. That only works for like an axis aligned box, no? Is this CPPUE I'm seeing? It is indeed. It is indeed. It is not Python, as many have came in here and conjectured. What, I mean, okay, so maybe I need to... Because the box is not an axis aligned box, this does not work. Because the box is rotated, so I really need to get like... Man, that's so difficult. Is there a better function here? Because I need like, I essentially need like, does a box and a capsule, do they overlap? Where was that? There was like some gizmo function I used here. What other functions do you have? Array cylinder intersection. Compute angle and plane. Are there anything I can use here? Array sphere, nearest plane. Box. Let me make an F box real quick. F box. Box. Do you have box dot get center and extents is inside or on another box? Checks whether a given box is fully encapsulated by this box. That doesn't seem like the right comment. Intersect. Checks whether the given bounding box intersects this bounding box. Let me look at that code real quick. We're just checking min and max stuff. So wait, does this box have... Is this an axis aligned box? Min max is valid. Yeah, I think it is. There's no orientation. So wait. Which is the box that's oriented? Is it F box sphere bounds? Is that? Hitbox extrema. Sphere radius. You have like a orientation, right? No, you have an origin. You have an origin. Isn't there a data structure that has like... Isn't there a box data structure that has a orientation on it? Oh my fucking god. Structure for combined axis aligned bounding. So it's still axis aligned. Okay, so maybe not. Maybe there's not a data structure for it. Let me... Okay, we're gonna hit up Copilot here. What do we want? Do we want Claude? Well, we'll stick with Gemini for now. Gemini 2.5 Pro. Okay. In Unreal Engine C++, how would you check for a box intersection / overlap on a cylinder? We'll do cylinder because that's simpler than a capsule. Is there a built-in function for it? You use ChatGPT or AI? I use AI for like mathy stuff, really. That's... I do have Copilot for the autocompletes and stuff. Those are nice. But when it comes to prompting, I usually just use it for like the algorithm-y stuff or the mathy stuff. There isn't a direct built-in function to test for a box cylinder overlap. Mathematical approach. Separating axis theorem. Oh, I love that. I love a good theorem. F collision shape. Oh, okay. We're just going to use the built-in collision. I mean, that's kind of nice. Okay, yeah, give me that, actually. I love that. Give me that. Minus all those comments. I don't want those. Let's put this in my math utils. Okay, yeah, my math utils. Collision channel, which we're doing nothing with. Okay. Oh, that doesn't even exist. Okay. So it got it a little wrong, but it was good enough that I know how to do this. So channel, that's going to be a problem, I think. Because isn't this just happening with two random collision shapes? Rotation. Oh, it's not going from one box to another. Yeah, this is wrong, Gemini. That was completely wrong. Okay. All right, we're going to copy. All right, Claude 7. What you got for me? I'm going to take a peek at this. So, yeah, this is returning, yeah, for the collision system. Overlap any test. Yeah, I just need the pure math version of this. Yeah. All right, Claude, what'd you get for me? Using collision queries. This is wrong, though. I need the pure math version of this, not the collision system version. Can you tell me what you're building? I'm working on a video game. A video game that's going to be an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite. Right now I'm trying to get some math for a box cylinder overlap. This function will use geometric calculations instead. Wonderful. Let's take a look at that. So we have the box transform, which I suppose will include the orientation to box local space. Okay. Compute closest point on box to cylinder axis. Yeah, the cylinder, yeah, it looks like we're treating the cylinder as axis aligned, which is totally fine. It should always be. The cylinder is the entity, which could honestly just be another box, but cylinder it is. Yeah, well, I guess we'll just check. Let's just check this and we'll see if it works. Okay, let's see if Claude cooked or not. Let's see. Okay, so in where were we? Trace utils? Yeah, so rather than here, half height, I do need radius now too. Delete all that. Bool b is within box equals my math utils box check box cylinder overlap. Okay. Well, I fill it out. You know what goes in there. Target location. I guess we just pass in the we just go straight transform on that bad boy. Box extent. Oh no, wait, that's the cylinder location. Whoops, undo that. Target location, yeah, you got that all wrong. You got that all wrong. So F transform, we are going to pass in the, and then we have extent here. So the orientation, the location and orientation, is that backwards? Or orientation, location, yeah. And then we need to pass in the cylinder location, which is target location, half height, I believe, and radius. Okay. Let's see how that goes. We'll need to rebuild here. Hope I can get this working before I have to hop off. Okay, are we building here? We shall see. Okay, we have built. Wonderful. Okay, let's run it. There we go. There it is. There she is. Okay, so we'll have to wait for some entities to spawn to actually test this. This world's really cool, but I think because of the extra height, we have just like extra terrain chunks, and so it takes a little bit longer to get everything set up. I think it is resharper. What is resharper? Oh, what IDE are you using? It's Rider. Unreal Engine. Oh, it worked. Oh, baby. Oh. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's not returning now. Okay, it's too far away. It was too far away. Okay, it's not working anymore. Now it is. Okay, I need to get rid of these line traces. That's too much. Let's turn that off. It's not completely working, and so I think what I need to do is I need to... What do I need to do? I need to come up with better... this calculation. Yeah, I need to actually use the orientation here. How on earth would I do that? So the other one... Well, let's see here. Hang on. F transform. Box. Transform. All right, Claude. Change this function to account for the orientation / rotation of the box. GPT-4.1? No, I want Claude. Claude was pretty good last time. We'll give it another shot. If I can get this working before I have to go to work, I will be so happy. Okay, it's taking its sweet time. Claude doesn't like rotational math either. Ooh, okay. Wow, that is taking its sweet time. Okay, the edit mode did not. Ask mode seemed to be a lot faster. I can just copy and paste a lot easier. The edit mode, that was so slow. That was so slow. Yeah, look how much faster that was. That's crazy. Box corners. Oh my god. Is that really what I need to do? Okay, let me try a different model. Let's just do, just so it doesn't complain about, we'll just do git location. I was hoping that it would use like the inverse transform position. Okay, we're gonna try that again. In a new chat with, we'll try Gemini. Okay, Gemini, what do you got for me? We'll try GPT after this. Maybe I'll actually hit AI Studio with it as well. Gemini 2.5 Pro taking a considerable amount more time. Hopefully that means it's a considerable amount better answer. I don't want a function that like has to key off of all 8 of the box's corners. Have you tried Claude Code? We just tried that and it gave me a function that was kind of nasty. We just tried Claude. That was Claude 3.7 thinking that we just tried. Bro, Gemini 2.5 taking a long ass time. Should have hit the AI. I should have hit AI Studio with this. God, you better have cooked here. Okay, give me a much cleaner answer. That doesn't have to account for every single corner of the box. Math.orientedBox. Is that a real include? Is that real? First of all. It is. So it found a built-in data structure for me. Create an oriented bounding box. Box matrix. 2 matrix, no scale. World AABB transformed by Jesus. This is like 5 head. Okay. It seems nice and clean though, which is the part that I like. Okay, we'll see if Gemini cooks here. Okay, it created this oriented box and then didn't even use it anywhere. Okay. Okay, I have the AI Studio version of it too. Let's see how different it is. Are we actually using OBB? Calc vertices. What? Oh, this is using the 8 corners just like Claude did. AKA Ninja. Hello, welcome in. Start cell, end cell. Okay, we'll try it one more time. Oh, uh-oh. Change to account for rotation, and we'll use a 404, 40. I don't know which one's better. 0440. The chunk traversal logic currently uses. To refine this, we need to check each chunk location against. Oriented box is inside. Oh, is that what we should have been doing? Although this doesn't have a rotation. Just a center and extent. So how on earth is it? Oh, the axes. Oh, okay, I see. So we just do oriented box is within. Wait, let me look at that again. If the chunk location is inside the oriented box. But really we need to do a box to box check. What's this coding for? It's for a video game. Working on Unreal Engine, doing some Unreal Engine game dev. Let me think here. Okay, but also we should not just check chunk location We need to check the chunk as a box. Chunk box. Is that a real function? Oriented box does not have that function on it. You're making up a function. You are making up a function. Why is this so goddamn complicated? Starting to think the calc vertices version that I got from Gemini was probably the most right answer. It also did that. Yeah, I think this is probably the most right answer so far. Okay. Yeah, because it actually understood. It actually understood fmath intersect. Okay, is that a good function? Let me check that one real quick. Fmath intersect. It's not a function. Fmath intersect. What line box? I want a box. Give me a box intersection. Which I don't think there is. Planes 2. I got a line box intersection. And then what is this? Line extent box intersection. Live coding used to be so fun. Nowadays it's, hey, AI copy paste. Hey, if you want to do some rotational oriented box math for me, I'd be more than happy to do it live. I do most of it live, but we're working on a problem here where I need, I have developed an ECS system for a bunch of entities, and I'm kind of building my own collision system for it. But I need to divide up the entities into a 3D grid in the world so that when I do like some my own collision traces, I don't have to iterate over every entity that exists. I only iterate over the entities that are in the local bounding volume hierarchy boxes. And to determine those chunks, those entity chunks, when I'm doing a box trace, the box trace is an oriented box trace. And I'll show you. We're like almost there. I just need to get the oriented box part working, and then I think we got it. But we do most of our coding live here. Just not rotational math. That's the one thing. This is not Unity, this is Unreal Engine. Hello? Hello, please. Okay. Yeah, if you want to teach me about about the math behind an oriented box that looks like, oh, I turned the debugs off, which is what I was going to show. So this is the trace that we're doing. Boom. Oh, that one worked. Oh, hell yeah. So like you see these boxes, I need to get which boxes this one passes through. And wait, did that actually fucking work? No, it did not. Because I should have gotten one more down here. That's the part that we're missing. That technically worked just because of the boxes were, it just happened to work out. But we should have I should have gotten a return for a box down here. Because the oriented line trace went through it. But yeah, I don't know that math, so I am asking AI for it. But yeah, I think Gemini had the most right version of that. Although its intersect function did not exist. They're all giving me functions that don't fucking exist. Intersect box with oriented box. Yeah, that's not a function either. Box, line box intersection, point box. I need a box to box intersection. What is line extent box intersection? Do you have a comment on you? Swept box versus box test. So we have a box, start and end, and extent. I mean, I guess this is what I want, right? How are you free gaming? I don't know what you mean by that. What does that mean? Hit location, hit normal. Okay, I think this is actually what I want. Inbox, start, end. Extent. Good God. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to write that. Yeah, I mean, we can try this. So I'm probably not going to be able to get this working until we hop off. Till after. But we need a box defined, and I suppose we'll define that by the chunk box. Well, I guess it's just world AABB. You can detach from the actor you possess during runtime in the editor. I am well aware of that. And then we want, the start is just going to be box transform dot get location. No, it's not. No, it's not, because we're not passing that in. Oh, I see. I see. Jeremy, you were answering him. Yeah, it's F8. F8. I understand now. F8 is the hotkey for that. Oh, I'm gonna have to change this so much. Line extent box intersection. Yeah, this is actually probably what a box sweep is. But I need a start and end passed in here. Which I guess is just like the min and max. So, which is like... equals, I guess just oriented box for now. Oriented box dot get, or it's box transform. Get location minus extent plus extent, start and end. Not exactly a start and end, but I think it'll work for our purposes. And then we need to do like some hit locations and normals and stuff. Okay. Hit normal. And then what is it, like hit time? Okay, are you happy now? You're not. Box, start, end. I need an extent. Start, end, and extent. Okay. And then that returns a bool, I hope. Location, so I'll just say if intersection, do this. If not, we will do, I guess chunk location needs to go there. We will do red. But I guess I'm not even, that's not going to work actually. It's not going to work. We're doing 7 actions as well, so we just need to rebuild entirely. Yeah, this isn't going to work because we're not even getting the right start and end cells, I don't think. Maybe we are. We'll see. I'm gonna give this one more test, and I'll probably have to hop off. You do the F transform, yes. That needs to be the other way. There we go. Okay. Cross your fingers. I hope this works. I would like to be done with non-axis aligned box rotational math. Okay. Are we drawing debug on that? Yeah, we're still drawing debug there. Okay, there we are. Okay, we are getting a lot more boxes. It is not C-line, it is writer. JetBrains writer. Okay, so we're getting a lot more. That's concerning. That's actually not... we're getting way too many, actually, now. We're getting way too many. But, dude, I can target from... Oh, I can target from so far away now, though. So I know at least the entity query code is working. Oh, it's so nice. Yeah, the entity query code is working wonderfully. I can target from so far away now. Imagine pressing one button and it deletes everything. Impossible. That's what version control is for. Impossible. Are there entities anywhere else? I mean, we're just like returning all the boxes now, so... Let me see. I'll click. Pause. Which ones did that return? Okay. I didn't exactly get to the other box, so let's wait for a second. I'm going to wait for some of those to go away. Okay. And if I do that, did that return? It did return the bottom box, which is correct. So it should have gone there. Oh, and it returned this one too, I think, right? Yeah. But it also returned the ones behind me, which are not correct. So I think maybe my start and end location are a little wrong. It's returning ones behind me, which I don't actually need. I don't need that. But it's returning a little too much, but that's fine. Let me do a quick little testy test here. So let's let me stat named events here. Let's start a trace. Just target a few of these guys. Okay. Pause. Stop that trace. Let's look at the performance real quick. We're gonna look for timer name contains. I'm gonna do query, entity query that we're looking for. Where are you? Here we go. Interaction trace. So that took about 600 microseconds. Do I think I could take a squirrel in hand-to-hand combat? Probably. But if I was an Eldrazi, if I was a 15-15 Eldrazi, I would be afraid of 15 squirrels. If you know, you know. Make results. Chunk, 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 chunk. So it's actually not too bad. Let me look up target processor. I'm curious now. I feel like that's running a lot better than it used to. I feel like the target processor is running a lot better than it used to. I feel like it used to be like 2 seconds. Now it's 45 milliseconds. And it could probably get even better if I reduced the grid size. Interactable trace. Let's look for that one. Yeah, that's happening quite fine. 600 milliseconds is quite fine. Or 600 microseconds. And I think we can get that. I think we can work that down too, because we're returning too many chunks right now. So that'll get better. 400, 600, 1 millisecond here though. That one was a little long. But yeah, I think we can cut down on that pretty drastically. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. That's it for me. We kind of got this. We kind of got this fixed. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that, but there's still more work to be done. Oh, where do I want to send you guys? Let's send you guys to Charlie. I'll send you guys over to Charles. Oh, he's petting his kitty cat. Isn't that nice? Okay, so I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks everyone for hanging out with me. It was a productive stream. I don't know when I'll be streaming next, but I hope to see you all again then. So take care everyone. I gotta go to work.